Hi guys! My name is Dr. Rocke and you might be wondering, what am I doing here? Where is Chaza? Well, Chaza is somewhere at the beach sipping margaritas and lets me do all the work for him. But that's okay, cause this way I have the chance to meet you guys. You guys are nice. I should have showered. But seriously, thank you Chaza for giving me the opportunity to talk to your audience. So, what will we do today? I would like to draw the Batman. But he's always so tense. He needs to loosen up, get some colors. So I will do one of my famous, well, not that famous yet, one of my Doodle comics mashups. So first we need a nice piece of paper. Hi Freddy. But this is too big, so we need our magic scissors.
Before drawing, it's always good to loosen up. Stretch your back a bit, draw some circles and some lines, and you're good to go.
Finished my sketch. You can see Batman, very muscular, and he's kind of dissolving in all those doodles. And you might recognize all kinds of Batman villains. There's the Joker and Poison Ivy, but I will talk about that when I do the inking. So let's start with the inking process. For the inking process I will use all these Micron Pens. Micron Pens are my favorite choice, cause the drawing will not smudge when using alcohol-based markers like Copic markers.
Not a sponsored video.
So let's do some inking.
As you can see, I really like to use brush pens. That is, if I don't just use magic like you can see here. It's a bit more difficult to use brush pens, but if you practice a bit, you will soon get the hang of it. And then you can enjoy the benefit of getting your drawings done way quicker. One of the most important things when using brush pens is to move the paper, because there is always this one angle where you feel most confident when drawing a line. But it's also totally okay to use regular ink pens. You can get dynamic lines with just varying the pressure. And dynamic lines are the bread and butter to a good comic drawing. The lines should go from thick to thin towards the light source. And the outlines of an object are allowed to be thicker than the other ones. But that's more of a style thing, so whatever you like is good. To do thicker outlines is especially good when you are planning to do a lot of background, because this way your main character stands out way better. But look at me, first I told you I would tell you all about the Batman villains, and now I'm brabbling along about lines all the time. Well, I will have to show you all these villains later, because I'm almost done with the inking.
I'm sorry about my voice and my appearance, but I got a cold overnight. But one of the most important things I learned when doing art, you have to be able to work always. Otherwise you will not be able to invest enough time. I finished most of the black work. So now the fun part begins. All the hatching and cross-hatching and the little details and little dots and little circles. So let's do that.
When doing your cross-hatching, it's very important to take your time. It took me quite a while to figure that out, cause all those cross-hatching lines, they look as if they would be done quite quickly, but that's actually not the case. So don't rush yourself when doing them. And similar to the dynamic line work, the gap between your hatching lines should increase towards the light source. That way you make sure to get a three-dimensional look.
Done with all the details. You can see the drawing looks very much alive now. But wait until you see the colors. It'll look amazing. So let's bring in the color trolley. I have a board right here with all my Copic marker colors. I highly recommend you do this too, because when I want my doodle to have this color, I just have to look up the number. And as you can hear, that's the same type of paper I'm using for my Batman drawing. So I know how the color actually looks on the piece of paper. But I will still use an extra piece of paper to find out if the colors I want to use are blending together properly.
This is really a great system and it saves you so much time. Everybody who uses Copic markers knows that the color on the cap is very often not even close to the color on the paper. But still you need to try out if they blend together as you want them to. But most of the time, especially when the colors are not too different from each other, they blend perfectly. And also when blending your alcohol-based markers together, it's very important to take your time. The easiest way to do it is to choose 3 markers. Start with the middle tone, blend into the lighter areas, which means blending it together with the lighter tone. And when blending the dark side, fill the whole area with your middle tone first and then blend it together with your darkest tone. Afterwards you can blend the whole area with your lightest tone again.
Done with the Batman! Which means it's time for some doodles!
Coloring doodles is a lot of fun, but it's very time consuming. Cause all these many colors need to be chosen from your color box. So don't make the same mistake I did and buy so many Copic markers. It's way too much work to pick the right one. Nah, just kidding. It's lovely to have so many colors you can choose from.
Now that I'm finished with the main colors of the doodle, it's time to put some magic into the bat sign.
Here you can see how I draw all my details, which is kind of my trademark. It really took a long time till I mastered these. But I'm very glad I took the time and the effort, because these details give my drawings an extra kick. And with all this amazing art out there in the world, it's lovely to find something where you can stand out a bit. I like to use patterns and signs from Buddhism and Hinduism, not because I'm a Buddhist or anything, but I just think they look great. And I also like the designs of old weapons like a pirate pistol or something like that. And knight's armor, beautiful knight's armor ornaments. That's also a thing you could compare my details to. And one of the coolest things about these sort of decorations is that you can hide all kind of symbols and stuff like that in it. Like I did here with the skull and the beautiful girl's face. So when you take a look from afar you just notice all these nice patterns. And when you get closer you're like, oh look, that's a face! And that's a nice effect.
Done with the details, I will bring some more life in the drawing with some debris.
First I thought about airbrushing the background, but then I changed my mind because I liked the strong contrast of this colorful drawing on the white surface. But I wanted it to look more alive, so I had to put in all these details you can see right there in the background. Like the small dots and circles I did on Batman, these little colorful details entail to a way more agile looking result.
So that's it! My finished drawing of the Batman.
He's kind of dissolving in all those doodles. And you have to admit, the Batman villains never looked as sweet as that. There's Killer Croc, the Joker, Penguin, the Court of Owls, Poison Ivy, the Riddler, Scarecrow, and Harley Quinn. So let me know down in the comment section if you like the outcome of this drawing. I will read every comment. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel, even though it's not mine.
Hey Deadpool, guess what? You're not alone anymore.
So thanks again, Chaza, for this amazing opportunity. You didn't have to do that, but still you did. I hope you have a wonderful vacation and hopefully you can spend all that time with your family. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. See you guys! Bye!